Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays YouTube channel and throughout social media. We will get you out of here before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those picks in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. So let's meet the cappers and get right to the picks, because we don't mess around here on the drive-thru. Let's say hello to Brian. Brian, what's going on?
Well, I'd be in a better mood, but I got my ass kicked yesterday. I'm ready to bounce back, though. You know, you have those rough days. But I like the card today. Definitely lots of action we can take advantage of.
Excellent. Let's say hello to Rod. Rod, what's going on?
Well, not too much, Tony. Just continue to win. So not complaining on my side the way things are rolling along. So we're just looking to knock in some wood and continue to find those winners for everybody and continue having ourselves a nice little run here. So can't complain.
Can't complain, Rod. Stacking the units, Rod, there. Let's say hello to Jovan. Jovan, what's up?
Yeah, I've been middling. You know, every time I end of the night, tally it up, it's a zero-sum game. You know, but slight wins as far as the last week, but you know that's how it is. Rather be it that way than be on the losing side.
Absolutely. Kevin Thomas, what's going on?
My question is for Brian. Is it the umpires kicking his ass again? Because I know every time he goes to those little league games to watch his son, he gets in fights with these young women that are behind the plate and stuff. I'm hoping he's not getting his ass kicked more over there, or he's talking about the books. But
no, it's more,
Tony,
it's more the NBA.
Great weather. It's great weather. WNBA, we got preseason basketball. I'm excited. Lots of playoffs going on. So it's a great time of the year, Tony.
It certainly is. And hey, don't worry about those umps, because a buddy of mine does it on a weekend. So why do you do it? He goes, yeah, because they pay us $100 a game.
Brian had one come to his car and walk right into him because Brian pissed him off so much. So
wow. Well,
he gets in fights everywhere. That's why he doesn't go out often.
That's why it's so much money to play your kids in Little League, because you got to pay the umps $100 a day to put up with that nonsense.
I only got upset one time yesterday, so don't go overboard.
Yeah.
The guy missed a call, and I said, "That's bullshit." I got a little out of hand, but it happens from time to time.
They up 3 games in 3.5 hours, make $300. So don't feel too bad about those guys. But they earn their money. That's what it takes to deal with that with the parents. So that's something there to know about. All right, we got you through that. So let's get to the NBA tonight. Single game. Of course, it's the Game 6. Rockets and Warriors are going to try and extend this series to a Game 5. Let's see if they can do it tonight. Here we got Golden State here, favored at home 5. We see the total 207.5. Taking a look at the injury report, Golden State's clean, but Landale and Tate will be out. Jock Landale probably better that he's not playing the season he's having, and Tate out there for Houston. So let's get this one underway here with Javon.
Yeah, so after getting their ass handed to them and basically giving up in Game 5, I expect Golden State to come out swinging in the first quarter. So this should be a layup for the first quarter for them. If they're in trouble at the end of one, if they're tied or down a little bit, you might want to worry if you're Golden State, because this isn't as talented a team as in years past when they made the playoffs. You know, that they're definitely not as good as that last championship run that they had a couple years back, 3 years back or whatever it was. You know, so you're going to want to look closely at how Golden State comes out. Jimmy Butler is clearly hurt. You know, he's gunning it out right now. You know, that 26, 27-point performance, you know, at the tail end of that game, when he took that jump shot where, you know, the little touch foul that they called for 3 that won them the game, when he landed, he was clearly feeling it. You know, in last game, look what happened. You know, so, you know, the older guard, the veterans, the championship players on that team, you know, they basically laid down last game, expecting to win this game and take it to the next series. But I'm not too sure about that in this one, you know, given the fact that they have a coach over on the other side who has played, you know, who has played in the league and has been a championship level head coach. And he's gotten the players to the promised land. Last game at least, and the game before, but the guys couldn't bring it through for them. So I say all that to say that they have Fred VanVleet. He's a championship player. They have some other guys who seem to have clicked in the last couple of games. They seem to have found something. Sengun is doing his thing. So if they're in trouble, at the end of one, you might want to put a little bit of live bet on the underdog. I'm just saying.
And there we go here from Siobhan. Next up, we move right on over to Brian.
Yeah, in this one here, I'm going to lean towards taking the Golden State Warriors laying the points. Houston Rockets have covered 3 of the last 4 between these two. This last game, embarrassment of 131 to 116. I think Golden State comes out swinging, like Javon said. I'm not going to just take them for the first quarter. I'm going to take them for the whole game. I think they get a double-digit win with a little bit of help from the refs.
There we go with Brian. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me in this first half, this Warriors squad, you expect them to fire out right after getting beat, revenging that loss to the Rockets. Didn't look so good. Rockets looked great in that game. Not so good. The Warriors in that first half, hey, they're 4-16 ATS when they're trying to revenge that loss in the first half. And this Houston Rockets squad in that first half, hey, against teams that love to shoot the three, and we know the Warriors love to shoot the three. This Rockets team 17-5 ATS in that first half, and also 14-7 ATS on that on the road in that first half. So for me, I'm going to take Houston to continue to pound in the first half. I'm even sprinkle on the money line that they have that first half lead here in this one.
There we go with Rod. Next up, we move right on over to the Kevin.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Brian here. The Warriors for the whole game seems to be the play. Just the way that spread is after that beatdown, and the fact that no one played more than 25 minutes pretty much for either team. Golden State has the experience. Green and Brooks, those two are going to go at it, and the fouls are going to go the Warriors' way at home. So it's going to come down to the fouls, and I expect Golden State to take full advantage.
Here we go with Kevin. All right, I'll tell you here what I think here about this one. I'm going to look here at the Rockets here plus the points. So the Rockets made their threes in this series, and they're just out rebounding Golden State. They're winning the rebounding battle. That's important here, especially on the offensive glass. I mean, they are just tearing those offensive glass, getting those second shot opportunities. We talked about Butler ineffective of second game back from pelvic injury. If there's a surgery coming at the end of the year, right? That's usually the case. He played 40 minutes in Game 4, and then right after that injury, then had a bad game. It's going to be tough for him to play through this pain of this series. The Rockets holding the Warriors at 43% shooting. Remember, one of the reasons why the Warriors were a play-in team is because Houston went into Golden State and beat them. So they're not, the big games, they've been able to get it done over there. So I don't think this game is too big for Houston. So I'll look for the Rockets here to at least cover the spread here, getting a little more than almost 2 possessions here. So I'll take Houston here at plus the 5. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we'll turn our attention over to Major League Baseball here for today. We'll take a quick look here at some of the pitching matchup. I didn't notice earlier there wasn't a whole lot of changes here in the pitching today. Well, at least in our first 5 games, I don't see any changes in the pitching. So let's get to the games right now. This game will start in a rain delay, so we'll cover it here. Nationals and Reds. We got the Reds here, $1.91. Total sits here at 9. Next up, we've got Padres and Pirates. Padres, $1.29 on the road. Total sits here at 8. Diamondbacks and Phillies. Philly, $1.54. Total of 9. Then we go Rays and Yankees. Yankees, $2.16. Total 8.5. We'll end this block here with Royals and Orioles. The O's, $1.32. Total sits 9.5. We get the block underway here with Javon.
Yeah, these some of these games I just don't really like the pitcher matchups, but I'll look towards Kansas City Royals. I understand that Dean Kramer, he's better at home, but he's gonna have to show me something because the way he's been looking this season overall it hasn't been good. I like that plus money. I'm a bite. I'm not a Michael Walker guy, but he's not pitching particularly bad. I expected some regression out of him. You might still see that, but as far as this one goes, You know, KC has been winning 9-1 last 10. You know, they might fall flat on their face, but I'm gonna roll with KC nevertheless. Just because they're in far better form than the Orioles. What else? Looking. Might want to take a shot at Pittsburgh. I'm not gonna pull the trigger or anything like that, but Mitch Keller, he's been pitching pretty good. Um, Dylan Cease, no, he hasn't. Um, get to the bullpens. Uh, I mean, it's San Diego for the bullpens by far. San Diego has run roughshod over them over the last handful of games, but just I'm just gonna take a shot with Pittsburgh as well. It's really not even too much analysis with it, um, except for the fact that I'm looking at the number and something just doesn't sit right with me as far as with San Diego being the type of team that they are, 19-11, only 136, 135, 140 somewhere around there. Favorites, something stinks to me, and I'm on Pittsburgh for that reason.
There we go with Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Brian.
Yeah, I agree with Javon here. Actually, if you look at Pinnacle right now, San Diego Padres are minus 124, which is a tremendously, I think, a real baiting line here for people to take the San Diego Padres, who have the much better record. But they're a little bit pedestrian on the road. Dylan Cease hasn't been living up to stud standards. I like Mitch Keller. He hasn't put up phenomenal numbers, but his numbers are better than Cease this season. He's averaged about 6 innings to start, I think, the last 2 times out. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Pirates at home plus money here on a Friday night. I like my dogs.
And there from Brian. Next up, we move on over Rod.
Yeah, for me, you look at that Royals and Baltimore game. Yeah, I don't trust Walker. I've already seen the Orioles already seen Walker once this year, so it's not like they don't know what they're getting, and they know what they're getting because they love to smash him. April 5th, he went 5.2 innings. They smashed him for 6 hits. 4 earned runs, a walk. You got a couple strikeouts in that one. But then you look what they've done. His last 2 starts, he went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs. Yeah, Baltimore has plenty of guys on offense that could smash walk. Especially Mountcastle. He's hit 3 home runs, 7 ribbies. Mullins, 2 home runs, 5 ribbies. On base percentages of some of these guys. Against Walker, pretty good. I think Baltimore pops out to a nice little lead, and they don't look back. You look at what Kramer's done at home, as you alluded to. Kramer has pitched better at home. His home starts date all the way back to 2023. He's 16-3 straight up versus an AL team with a batting average of 260 or worse, which is what this Kansas City squad is. They struggle at times to score runs. Give me the Baltimore Orioles there in that one as they beat up on Walker. Waka is going to sound like he's giving up Pac-Man and scoring runs. Waka is what's going to be going on there. Give me Baltimore in that one.
Yeah, with Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin. You're on mute, Kevin.
Yeah, I like Kevin muted better. We should just keep him on mute.
I'm doing it because those dogs are all crying right now. But yeah, I'm looking at that Pittsburgh-San Diego game as well. You got Keller on the mound. But the thing I'm looking at is that total is at 8, and you're getting a team that just beat their division rivals all the way out in San Diego, and now they're got to travel to Pittsburgh and get up for the Pirates. I don't expect a lot of fireworks in Game 1 here. I think this one's going to be a low-scoring game. If I was forced to take it, I would take Pittsburgh getting those points, 125 after Skeens just took a loss. The team took the loss with him on the mound. I think the public would overreact, and I expect that line to be a lot higher than it is. So I think plus 125 is a steal, but I think the under 8 is the better value.
Yeah, from Kevin. All right, I'll tell you what here, what I think about some of these games. If they get this one, it doesn't look like good a night for hitting there. I like the under here with the Reds and the Nats. Reds 5-1 in the under at home against losing teams. Nats 5-1 in the under on the road, facing a bullpen with a whip of 1.55 or lower. Nats do not hit well on the road. Parker's sharp. We saw him go 8 innings, then a one-hitter recently here. So Hunter Green we know is a stud here for Cincinnati. I like the under in that one. I'm going to be the guy in the Padres tonight. Padres have hit righties pretty well. With Araz back in the lineup, we've seen this team spark here the last 2 days. Pirates can't hit at home. They look terrible in that Cubs series. San Diego has the best bullpen in baseball with an ERA of 1.77. CeCe, look at his advanced numbers. He has a FIP that's well below his ERA. His FIP, by the way, is 3.18, which is lower than Keller's ERA. So I don't see the pitching. I don't see a pitching. I look at FIPs. I don't look at ERAs. I like. Matter of fact, he is striking out 27% of his batters, and this Pirates team's terrible. Look at San Diego in that spot. Also here, I like the under with the Rays and Yankees. The Rays bullpen has been outstanding here. Looking over the past games here, past 6 games, 1 run in 20 innings. And Rays 10-1 in the under, facing a team with a bullpen whip of 1.15 or lower the past 1+ seasons. New York here, his pen is also in good form, so I'll look at the under in that game. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we continue with the baseball for tonight. Next game's on the schedule here to cover. Guardians and Blue Jays. You got the Blue Jays $1.67, total 8.5. Twins and Red Sox. The Red Sox $1.15, total of 9. Athletics and Marlins. The homeless getting it done on the road this time at night games as well. 127, total 9.5. Dodgers and Braves. LA $1.79. Look at this total now. They got it up to 9 with Yamamoto on the mound. Wow, that's a big number there. Then we close out Astros and White Sox. Astros 220, total of 8. We get the block underway here with Javon. You're on mute, Javon.
I'm going to look towards the Guardians, the Blue Jays under. Bassett's on the mound on a Friday night. I like my chances with him. And Toronto can't seem to hit left-handed pitching all of a sudden. They're below the Mendoza line in their last 5 games. So I expect Logan Allen to have a serviceable start. 8.5 is a funny number, but I don't expect a 4-4 game going into the late stages of this one. I do expect a lower scoring affair going into this one. So even in the late stages. So as long as they keep it to a minimum, towards the 7th and 8th, we're in business, and I think it cashes. So I'm on under.
There we go here from Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Brian.
Yeah, this is a hard segment of the games here, but I think I'm going to go with the Miami Marlins on the money line at home. The money Marlins, it's just the A's have been really good lately, winning 4 of the last 5, 7 of the last 10. I just don't see the A's as a minus 135 road team, and this line's kind of been coming down a little bit as the days gone on. I think the Marlins here are a sneaky little plus money dog. I'll take them here on the money line.
There we go with Brian. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, you look at that Cleveland and Toronto game. I'm going to take the Guardians there at the nice plus price. I don't like what I've seen from Bassett at all. I don't like what I've seen from these Blue Jays starters over their last few. They've been getting roughed up and getting hit up. So nothing like seeing a bad Blue Jays starter who supposedly it's been known that Bassett's tipping his pitches. So this Guardians squad hasn't been hitting a whole lot themselves over their last 5, in about 220, 225 over their last 5. So nothing like seeing Bassett and the guy tipping his pitches to get yourself a win. Give me Cleveland in that matchup. And then give me the over in that Marlins game. For some reason, Marlins just keep scoring runs. And with Beloso on the mound and Hoagland getting the start for the homeless, I think runs come early and often. Even the books are thinking the same thing. 9.5 is where they've got this set at. We get into double digits with the Marlins and the Athletics in that one tonight.
There we go with Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin. You're on mute, Kevin. Brian's playing with your signals.
I always
Wish
talk
we had
about
electric shock so we
Royce
can-
Lewis and the Minnesota Twins, and with him out, how the team doesn't generate runs because they don't have to. They can pitch to this lineup. When he's in the lineup, they're a different team. I think we're going to see that with the Red Sox. I know the Red Sox still have some hitters, but Christian Campbell, I mean, this kid has been a stud for me in fantasy, batting over 300. he is out now, and I think that's going to affect Boston. I'm not sold on Boston's relief. I know Campman but Whitlock, he was off a horrible performance too. I like Minnesota watching this line and stuff. I mean, for plus money, I'm going to take the Twins and Ryan on the mound.
Here we go here from Kevin here. Tell you what I think about these games. Yeah, I do agree with the Minnesota and Ryan. Ryan in really good form here. Good ERA, good whip, and strikes out 29% with only 3% walks. We know Walker Buehler. I don't have a lot of faith in him off those 2 Tommy Johns. Dodgers didn't want him, and the Red Sox bullpen has struggled at home. Matter of fact, Red Sox facing these good bullpens with a whip of 1.3 or lower, 31-32 at home, losing 7.5 units to past 1+ seasons. Minnesota has hit the ball over the past 7 games. 286 is the best they've hit all season. So I'll look at Minnesota in that spot. Yeah, I agree with Rod. I like the over in athletics and with the homeless in Miami. This Miami bullpen is just in shambles here. What's their ERA? What near their ERA is near 8 here, over 8 over the past 6 games. Marlins have gone over in 6 straight. Athletics nocturnal. They're nocturnal, hitting 278 in their 29 games. Miami has hit the ball well at home at 263. I like the over in that one. All right, let's see what else we got there. Are we covering that? Nope. We'll continue here on the drive-thru as we get ready for the next series of games to close out baseball with these following games. Mariners and Rangers. We got the Mariners $1.25 on the road, total of 8. Cubs and Brewers. Cubs now up to 121. This one's moved up, total of 9. Mets and Cardinals. Mets just $1.12 on the road, total 7.5. Tigers and the Angels. Angels big here. I'm sorry, the Tigers big. $1.86 with Scoob on the mound. Total 7.5. Close out tonight with the Rockies. Red Hot Rockies right now. Dogs, Giants, $2.85. Total of 8. We get this one underway here with Javon.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be Detroit once again on the run line. I had them premium last night, and they were losing. Then I turned it off. When I checked the scores again, it was 10-4.
Yeah.
So
take out
that
Kikuchi,
bullpen
and then
is
the
horrible.
bullpen is just
That bullpen is god awful.
Killed me
5 in the
yesterday.
5 in the 8th, 3 in the 9th, and that's all she wrote. A bullpen could really mess up a ball game for a team, and turn a winning pitcher into a no decision, and the team walks away with a loss. And there's no one to blame but the bullpen. Doesn't matter who you go to in the bullpen. It is what it is, and that's what we're facing with the Angels. So it has to be the Tigers in this one on the run line. You might want to extend clip it the way they give it up. So
yeah, Trout
that's where I'm
out.
at with it.
Trout's out of this game. Injured list for Trout.
Once again.
Well. Things get worse. On over to Brian.
Yeah, me and Romanelli had the Angels yesterday, and he texted me before he went to bed. He says, hopefully when I get up, this Angels team's going to hold out and get the W. And I was a little worried that he jinxed me.
No.
And then, the bullpen gave it up, and it wasn't even close. But as far as this slot goes, I'm going to take the St. Louis Cardinals here in the money line. It's a little bit this is my Captain Obvious game of the day here, because I think you're going to see the world in the New York Mets. They have the much better record, and you got Clay Holmes on the mound, 5-0, 2.42 ERA over his last 5 starts, averaging 5 innings to start. He had better numbers than Sonny Gray, but for me, I think Gray has underperformed this year. I think this guy plays to the back of his baseball card tonight. I like the St. Louis Cardinals to get it done here on a Friday night. That's my pick of the day. I like that one.
That's the one he likes here, pick of the day. We move on over to Rod.
And for me in this time slot, yeah, give me Seattle there and Woo going on the mound. And just like what I'm seeing there from Seattle and Woo. You look at Jack Leiter going for Texas. He had a good start. His first couple games were good, and then his return back last time on April 27th, went 3.1 innings, gave up a couple of hits, but no control issues. He had big control issues. 4 walks, gave up a couple of runs in that one. You do that here against these Seattle bats that have definitely heated up. It won't be pretty. He'll give Woo plenty of run support. So give me Seattle in that matchup. And then looking at the later game here, we're looking at give me the Brew Crew. Normally I like the Fate teams back their first game back at home. But hey, 9-4 at home, playing some solid baseball. 4-6, definitely not playing the numbers haven't been great for the Brewers, but they're back at home, all comfy. And hey, look at this! Look, it's a nice little price to lay on the Cubs, who are playing the better ball. Not here. We're going to take the big old L in this one. Take the Brewers. You get a nice little plus price. It moved. I see plus 110s in places, plus 105. Either way, you get a nice little plus money on a Friday night with the Brew Crew. Well, how many times does the Brewer guy slide down the slide? Lots. So they'll be all lathered up in Milwaukee, and they get themselves, the hometown crowd gets themselves a nice little win in that one. As everybody's enamored with the Cubs there in that one, and the Cubs suck.
There you go from Rod. Next up, we move on over
Cubs
to
suck.
Kevin.
Tony, I looked all day and all night on how I could take Atlanta Braves here and make it work. And I came to the conclusion that it's not going to work. I'm going to have to lay 2.5. Lay 2.5 to get the plus 140. Yamamoto, he already faced Fried and the Braves last year, and the Dodgers won 9-0 in Atlanta. LA's coming from LA, but you got to remember Atlanta's coming from Colorado. I think that travel from Colorado, LA, I think that messes with your head a little more with the pressure of Colorado. And I can't bet against Freddie Freeman at home. He always gets a warm welcome, and he always smashes the ball. I'm going to take Freddie Freeman for an RBI. I'm going to take Freddie Freeman for a home run, and I'm going to take the Dodgers laying 2.5.
And extendo over there with Kevin. Tell you what I think about these games. I like Seattle as well. I like Wu in this spot here. The right-hander, good strikeout rate, limits the walks. Seattle hitting really well over their past 5, about 300 right now. The bullpen's in really good form against the division. Texas, they don't hit righties very well, just 226. Mariners against these teams with an on-base percentage of 330 or lower, 659 and 47 on the road, winning 9 units the past 2+ seasons. Rangers, it's pretty much a coin flip at home against the division, losing 12 units the past 2+ seasons. I'll look at Seattle in that spot. Also agree there with St. Louis in this one. When you've got the Mets as a favorite of from minus 100 to minus 150, 2-4, losing 3.5 units. But it really comes down to St. Louis at home. They're hitting 289, winning 10 of 15. Good bullpen ERA. We saw the Mets bullpen get roughed up a little bit in that series at Washington. Right, the Washington Nats, a couple of comebacks. So I'll look at them. Have to agree with the Detroit Tigers on the run line. This Angels team is brutal. They're only hitting a $174 against left-handed starters. Soriano in his 2 home starts, 10 runs allowed in 8 2/3 innings. That's going to expose a horrible Angel bullpen. I'll look at them in that spot. Give me the under here with Colorado, San Francisco. San Francisco night game here, 64-35. The under in home night games the past 2+ seasons. Rockies 11-1 to the under on the road, facing a team with a good bullpen over the past 1+ seasons. That's ERA of 3.45 or lower. Look under in that one. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we get ready here for the NHL. Single game here on the ice for tonight. So let's get the game ready to roll here for tonight. And we've got on the ice tonight the Jets and the Blues. Here we got the Blues at $1.10. The total sits here at 5.5. So we get this one here underway with Brian.
This could be another Captain Obvious special here, but I got to take the under in the Winnipeg Jets and St. Louis Blues. You know, those guys are loving that plus 115 on that over. You know, what was it? 3 out of 4 of these games in the series have gone over the total. For me, I think, you know, this is a absolutely must-have game for St. Louis Blues. I think it's going to be a 2-1, 3-1 type of score. So for me, I'm going to go under 5.5 here.
5.5 there with Brian. Next up, we move on over to Rod.
Right, it's we've only seen one goalie duel in this series so far. The rest have been goals early and often. So for me, I'm going to go in that first period. Both teams can get a goal there in that first period. I'm going to go the over 1.5 in that one. I think both St. Louis and the Jets, even without Scheifele there for the Jets, they can still pop one because we lose Scheifele, but looks like Ehlers is going to check back in for the Jets here in this matchup tonight. So lose your captain, but at least you get one guy back to replace Shifley there for the Jets. So give me the over 1.5 in that first period.
Yeah, from Rod. Next up, we move on over to Kevin.
Unfortunately, Tony, I have to agree with Brian here.
Okay.
Under 5.5. Under 5.5 for -135 is that's too good to pass up. It's a little juicy for me actually, but yeah, St. Louis scored 12 goals at home and allowed 3. They're not scoring 12 tonight. I think Winnipeg has to make up for that loss. I'm not even gonna say his name, Schleffer. I think they're going to play a little more better defense, so we're going to go ahead and take that under.
There we go from Kevin. All right, we got you through the NHL. Now it's time for our parlay peripheral segment where cappers give out a parlay, team player prop, Kentucky Derby pick. They make the call here, or game of the future. They make the call here, so let's get this one underway here with Javon.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors first quarter, and we're going to match that up with Detroit Tigers extendo clip -2.5.
There you go from Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Brian.
I got a 3-game parlay: St. Louis Cardinals on the money line, Pittsburgh Pirates money line, and the under in the St. Louis Blues Winnipeg Jets.
There we go with Brian. Next up, we move right on over to Ron.
We go all to the MLB. We're going to go Seattle, Baltimore, Milwaukee. Little 3-teamer for you.
Here we are from Rod. Next up, it will be Kevin.
Well, you guys know I like Freddie Freeman for the home run, and I'm going to take the let me see, I had it right up here for basketball.
Dallas plus 7.5.
No, I had
Kevin has a man crush on Freddie Freeman.
Oh.
Buddy Hield over 2.5 3-pointers plus 130, and then we're Freeman for the home run. It's just a 2-teamer, two-guyer, two proper.
Too proper there from Kevin. I'll tell you what I think here. I like Seattle with the Cardinals and under Rockies and the Mets. All right, we got you through our parlay peripheral segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Pick Dogs. We're going to head into a big weekend of action. Some NBA playoffs, some hockey as well, and of course lots of Major League Baseball. Let's see what Brian Biller has for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. Right now, we can see Brian's put together impressive numbers here over the past 12 months. What do you got for sale?
Yeah, I got taken to the woodshed yesterday, but that means I'm due for a big comeback today. I'm 17-6 on my last titanium play, 74% run. You get that best bet in the NBA for just $25 over at pickdogs.com, or get my best bet in the NHL where I'm 31-16, 65% run. Head on over there to pickdogs.com and pick it up today.
And on board with Brian over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's see what Kevin Thomas has got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. Kevin, been red hot in your last 30.
Tony, I got my MLB 3-pack loaded. You get 2+ money winners on that one. For NBA, I got my secret sauce going tonight. And NHL is my top premium pristine wager for tonight's action. 1 game, and I'm all in on this one.
You're good. Get on board with Kevin Thomas over at Pick Dog Premium. Remember, the promo code PICK at checkout will knock off that 15% off. Let's see what Javon's got for sale over at Pick Dog Premium. Javon's had a great NBA year.
Yeah, got 2 MLB plays. One starting in about 7 minutes. The other is in a rain delay. So you could still hop up on those plays. Probably one of them, because the other one's officially off the board. But I also have a side in the total in the NBA game. I think this is gonna align, well to what I have as a game script. So, jump on board with that. No 3-packs, anything like that. They're all individually sold. So jump on board with me this weekend for a 3-day package, 7-day, 30-day, yearly, however you want it, or match me with one of the other handicappers or multiple handicappers for the multi-capper promotional. Can't go wrong here. Sports that place at Pick Dogs. Let's get it.
Let's get it in with Javon over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's see what Rod's got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. Rod, look at this last 30 days. About over 2,700 units of profit documented.
Yeah, for me over at Big Toss today, we got my NBA drop a dime play. Hey, we're on a nice 9-2 run in the NBA, so you can scoop that up singly. I got my NHL one-timer play. Hey, we're on a nice 12-3 run with it. And then I got my MLB play of the day. Hey, we're on an 18-3 run with it. Or you can get all three of those plays in the Friday night triple. But best way to go, as you can see, we've been staying hot. We started the end of April getting hot, and then we continue right here into May staying hot. So best way is to go long term. It's a Friday, so grab that 3-day pass. You get Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'll get some Monday in there thrown in there for you, so you get like the 3-day pass turns it into the 4-day pass. But you can see what we've been doing: the NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. We've been hot, so jump aboard long term. Take advantage of that 2-for-1, 3-for-1, 4-for-1 capper promotional as well. Can't go wrong with that, having 2 cappers or 3 cappers or 4 cappers, putting some extra money into your pocket. Don't forget to pick at checkout, save 15% off. But jump aboard while I'm hot.
It's been hot down with Rod over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, I've got a best bet on the board right now over at Pick Dogs Premium for Major League Baseball. Also have a 3-pack with 2 baseball, 1 NBA. My best bet's bundled in that 3-pack, so don't buy them both. Buy one or the other. Or why not get that long-term pass? I'm the number 1 unit producer over at Pick Dogs in Major League Baseball for the year. So get on board with me over at Pick Dogs Premium with my best bet or 3-pack. Or better yet, get that long-term subscriptions. You guys like that 3-day pass with the baseball here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, throw in there some NBA. And of course, you can match with your favorite cappers with the multi-capper promotion. So go ahead and get signed up and use that promo code PICK. You'll save that 15% off at checkout. All right, guys, we're with you here on the drive-through Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications, be live with us so you get those plays in real time. And not only are we a live show, but there's a lot of great content over at Pick Dogs over on the YouTube channel with video series. We'll start here with Brian. Brian, what you got up there on the YouTube, your daily video series, and of course they can catch you on selected days on the weekend.
Yeah, make sure you check out my sharp betting contrarian predictions every single day at the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. And I've made the last 2 Saturday, Sundays in a row, so I'm going to try to do that tomorrow as well.
Very good. Of course, Rod Pro is a regular here on the drive-thru. We can also catch on one of the weekend shows.
Yeah, definitely tune in to the drive-thru Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. You catch me here on the drive-thru, and then on that Sunday show, tune in. I'll be there tuned in as well, so definitely jump aboard on the weekend shows.
Good. Of course, Giovanni, you come up here on the drive-thru. We can also catch you on the weekend shows. You got your Parlay video series over at Pick Dogs YouTube.
Yeah, and there's one up on the board right now, so go to the YouTube channel and check out the video short, the 2-team parlay that I got, same game parlay for the NBA game as far as that goes. And then, per usual, par for the course, Saturday and Sunday on the morning show, and then back here on the drive-thru on Monday.
Very good. Of course, Kevin, we can catch some of your video content as well over on the YouTube.
Yep, Tony, every night you get a pick and a prop. Might not be the prop for the sport, but there's going to be a prop somewhere, so we'll get you one.
Very good. There you go from Kevin. All right. That's going to do it for this edition here of the Drive-Thru. We come back again Monday live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. All right. That'll close out. Anybody have any closing comments before we close it out?
Let's sweep the board.
Let's sweep the board, guys. Make it a winning week. We'll wake up. Bye, guys. You make it a winning weekend.